what might you imagine if there's a relationship dynamic here where, okay, so there's two ways we can look at this. The person, one person themselves brings the strength or the channel to the relationship. So what would that mean in this dynamic partnership? Do you remember what Ross says about this? If you have a channel defined in the head ashna and it's not connected up to the rest of the definition, what might happen? Yes, exactly, Diana. Fights happen in public. Classic example. They will argue in public. Exactly. So this is another thing that we could look at as an example. Let's do a different, let's imagine, how could we play with this? Let's imagine we have a mental projector on one side, whichever one of those channels is defined, and we have them in relationship, partnership with somebody who brings, let's say, this. And then, of course, the combined definition creates all that. So we have a split relationship, partnership, and you know that one person is mental and one person is emotional generative. So what else might happen here as a challenge that you need to be aware of? Exactly. The mental projector's mind is outside of the relationship. Beautiful. Next place. Here we have, let's say this is a splenic projector, and they have a mental split. Okay, so this is their design, mental split, in whatever one of these channels happens to be. It could be any one of these channels, really. And they're in a relationship with, let's say, to make it more juicy, a manifester, and it's an emotional manifester. What's the problem here? So everything else, this is the relationship dynamic, as far as this person has a very strong splenic, apparently, the mental split. Okay. Oh, before we continue on, Nancy would like to know, Diana, if you're able to clarify more on the mental projector's mind is outside of the relationship.
I'm not really sure. I just remember Ra talking about if a mental projector is not connected in the relationship, that they are basically outside, they don't feel integrated into the relationship mentally.
Exactly, because that's their definition. So they won't feel really involved or engaged in the relationship. Thank you for sharing that. Does that make it clear, Nancy? Yeah? Okay, excellent. So what might you imagine if, here, this is a projector. We're looking at a wide split. Okay, on one side, splenic projector. Okay, and we have an emotional manifester. Emotional tribal ego manifester. Ouch. What might happen? The rest of this is all electromagnetics. Okay, so what might happen in this relationship? First things first, we know that somebody's not being bridged. So there we go. The wide split splenic projector will blame the emotional manifester. Absolutely. Christine is saying they would think something is wrong with the manifester for being too emotional. Potentially, because this is as far as the frequency of what this channel shows up like, not just too emotional, but maybe flatline until a sudden explosion of anger, right? Because we have a spike wave there, and also too social or antisocial. We know the thematic there. Yes, there we go. Marlene is sharing projector might be bitter because the manifester is too quiet, waiting for clarity, not informing. I see. Yes, not informing of what they're about to do and their impact. So we just have very, very different frequencies here. Absolutely. 100%. Great job, you guys. Okay, let's go to another example. And here, let's say we have an emotional projector, just to make it simple on ourselves, emotional projector. So an EEP, emotional energy projector. And, oh, the projector might feel like they're on an island. I like that, Diana. Like I'm all isolated and alone over here, and you're not bridging my split. you're not getting what I need from you. Okay, so we have an emotional projector, and it looks like in this example, if that's all they have, let's say they're in a relationship with a strongly defined mental definition generator, non-emotional, manifesting generator. Okay, so we have two single definitions coming together. What might you imagine this relationship be about? So that's a MG, pure MG with mental definition. Oh, yeah, let's leave this as a non-defined. This is non-defined. That's defined through their electromagnetics. Okay, this is electromagnetics. Oh, hang on. Let me do it like this. This is electromagnetics, all of that. Okay. Projector being exhausted. Heck yeah. Yeah, it's an energy projector trying to keep up with its MG partner. And what else? It's emotional. So its emotions are tucked down inside of it. It's not reaching up to the throat. It's not being able to be communicative. It's more slow in its information assimilation processing. Even though it's single definition, it's emotional. So they're both single definition, and there's a split there. Unable to express emotions. Exactly. Yes, Christine, thank you for bringing in keynotes there. Resentment, because the energy projector, emotional energy projector, adrenalized emotional energy projector, you're not sensitive enough to my needs. I can't express my needs with you. Why don't we have the kind of romance I thought I could get from you? Because we don't have, in the relationship dynamic, we have a wide split. Okay? So I'm going to leave now because my desires aren't being met. Single defs, easy to walk away, right? Remember? Projector having the feeling that the MG is not present in the relationship. Yeah, because the MG is too busy for him or her. The MG is like, I'm busy. Don't bother me. Processing my logic here. It's not logical for me to get caught up in your emotional wave. So what does the emotional system in an unhealthy state do? It projectile vomits its chaos when finally its emotions can be expressed. I remember, because I have this in my design, it's not really connected up to the throat, it's a wide split. The way that Becky Markley gave me a relationship, or was it a relationship, either a relationship or my first reading with her, is she said, your emotions are tucked down inside of you. They're not always going to be expressed. It's really rare, actually, for a transit to bridge me completely because of the wide split. So it's just an interesting dynamic that happens as being a split projector. That was a single def that we're looking at as an example. Okay, let's do one more, or two, or three, however much you like this. When we get to here, we have a split. So in this example, let's make it a little bit more different. How can I bring something different? Let's have a self-projected projector. I have seen one like this. Self-projected projector, all three channels. It's a very strong identity. And let's make her a freak. I'm not remembering exactly that woman's design, but I know she had this definition. She might not have had that, but let's make her a real freak of nature. Self-projected projectors are rare anyway. And she's got a freak channel, right? Okay, so we've got a self-projected, and let's put a generator in the mix. Let's make it easier on them. At least they're individuals together, hey? So we've got an individual, and it's a split definition generator with emotional manifesting abstract nature. Okay. What do you imagine might happen in this relationship? These are all, so anything that I'm circling is going to be a electromagnetic connection where they're bringing definition together. All of these have been 9 and nowhere to go, by the way. So they're very locked into that relational field, right? No place for other people to get in. So we have let me do this correctly, a self-projected projector with mental definition. And on the other side, we have a pure sacral generator. Let me just see, do like this. Sacral generator with an emotional authority. Okay, split. Projector having the feeling, oh, the generator is saying it's always your way. Yeah, because the generator has an undefined G center, right? So this one's really dominating with regards to the direction that I gotta be myself. I gotta be going in my direction. I gotta do things, according to what I say. Self-projected projector. Now, when we do two different types in relationship, do you remember that the projector really suffers in compromise and really is conditioned with intertype relationships? Really challenging. Yeah, so the self-projected projector with regards to being emotionally nervous when this emotional generator, not a pure emotional generator, that's that channel, but this split definition, pure generator with emotional authority, when they get potentially a crash, up, happy, happy, manic, manic, down, crash, crash. Ouch, this one. Oh, there's a lot of blame here, by the way. I blame you, says the 35. When it's down in its emotional wave, too, is a potential. So the triggering of the nervousness or the avoidance of confrontation and truth would be a problem that I would see relative to them having truth in their relational partnership. And Diana's saying emotional generator blames the solar plexus. There we go. I mean, self-projected projector, because it's a wide split. Blames when needs, passions, desires are not being met. And then the self-projected projector amplifies the crash wave. Bingo. Exactly. Yeah, they have a little bit of a relationship in that there's some shared reality in the frequency of, the sacral generator, that's emotional, being abstract. So is the self-projected projector. And they're both individual, but what's different is the self-projected projector is the alpha, too. Logic, right? Mahilan is sharing, if not entered correctly in the relationship, yes, the sacral generator might lose their direction following the authority. Oh, might lose his direction. The projector might lose his direction following the authority of the generator and waiting, the projector. Might lose their themselves. Yeah, themselves. And the signpost of this solar self-projected projector not being in alignment is going to be bitterness at not being able to be themselves in relationship, not being able to go their own way and do their own thing. Beautiful.